And welcome to another fun Friday edition of Ripping the Rack podcast. Wait, I wasn't supposed to do that this week.
I thought I was doing the bowling intro next week. I thought I was just doing for the bowling show. I thought you were still doing tonight.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fun Friday here on Ripping the Rack podcast. I am the first of your hosts of the Triforce Tri-Host, Brian. With me, as always, is our second leg of the Triforce Tri-Host, Tim. Tim, how are you?
Well, I think I'm the first leg.
No, I am. Thank you.
No, you're the second.
How are you, Tim?
I'm good.
Good. And as always, the greatest third leg in broadcasting, our friend Marky Pins. Mark, how are you?
Not bad, fellas. How we doing tonight?
Very good. Tim, now you can take over now that I did the intro.
No. Keep going, man.
Expertly done, sir. Well done.
Is that it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we've got a fun edition planned for today. What is it? Friday. We're gonna have fun on Friday. We are gonna talk quotable movies.
Potables?
Potables for 200, Alex. So quotable movies, and the way I kind of envision this is it is wide open to however you want to take this.
What's your individual? Let's just jump right in. What's your individual favorite quotable movie? Like the one that you look to, it has so many lines that you go to, and you can just be like, "Oh, that's from this movie. That's from this movie. That's from this movie."
Mine, by far, are the first two Austin Powers movies. By far, you could say a quote from that movie, and I promise you, I will say the next line.
Those were like decade or age-defying movies. They kind of set culture for the preceding future going forward. I mean, all of those were a big deal. Elizabeth Hurley was in one. Beyonce was in the last one. It kind of relaunched Mike Myers' career, because before that, the last movie he really made was So I Married an Axe Murderer, which, by the way, is great.
Fantastic movie.
It's not what he's known for when you think of Mike Myers. What do you think of? You think of Shrek. You think of Austin Powers. Yep. You think of Fat Bastard. Like that.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World back in the day, right? Which are very quotable movies in and of themselves.
But So I Married an Axe Murderer is one of my all-time favorite underrated movies. I can picture the kid sitting in front of the TV and Myers playing the father. Heat pants now, kid, head's like Sputnik, just talking about a big. It's just always.
And the thing is, he always, every time you see him with parents, it's always his parents. Like that's what he's basing it off of.
Yeah. I don't know as if I have an all-time favorite quotable type movies, because there are so many that I could choose from. Super Troopers is one of my favorites.
Good one.
He can't pull over anymore, man. He's already pulled over all the way.
Pull over. I'm already pulled over. Right, meow? I mean, look.
That just reminded me of a couple other ones I want to talk about.
So this is how Super Troopers was. I worked at T-Mobile. I was a manager in the call center in Oakland, Maine. And to have fun, I would go to my team. I had 15. It was either 14 or 15 reps, and I'd be like, "All right, whoever can use meow the most in the next 2 hours gets an hour off the phone." Like I would go to our resource plan and say, "Hey, I need an hour off the phone for Marky. Marky, you got it. Great. You got the next hour. Enjoy your hour off the phone. Go do what you want. Walk to center. Go get a drink. Go whatever. You've got an hour." Like that's what I would do. So you would be on the phone. Like I'd be walking around my pod, and I'd hear, "Oh, you don't want to do that right now. You don't want like it." So Super Troopers. Any of the, and I obviously I only did that after our listenings were done for the month. So we had a national group that did national listening, and each member got I think
Is
it
that
was
like a secret shop thing kind of thing?
Yeah, you never knew when they were being listened to. And
Okay,
it's like a national group out of Bellingham. I think they were Bellingham, Washington. And you'd get automatically a score would come up and be like, they listened to so and so, and you'd find out the score and you'd find out the call and whatnot, random. Once everybody on my team had all the national stuff done, I would go ahead and I'd do something like that because I'm like, okay, they're not getting listened to. I could go ahead and do something like that.
That's awesome.
Having Tim as a manager is wonderful.
I made it fun. I tried. I did. Call center work is not the easiest work. It's really actually quite difficult.
It's not. I worked in a call center for almost a year, a long time ago before I met Melissa, and I did not enjoy my job for much of it. It's very different. You're not just sitting there answering a phone and everything's hunky-dory.
Oh, no.
Not at all.
You could do what I do because I'm a glutton for punishment, and you could be in tech support where every time someone calls you, they're unhappy. Every time.
Yeah, that can't be good either. No.
So, you take a look at Anchorman.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Did I say that? Oh, good episode. Good show tonight. Ron, I've got to fire you. What? Did I say that? Billy Madison, any of the Adam Sandler stuff from that time frame, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, things like that.
Billy Madison is mine. That's my favorite quotable movie.
I just those types of movies, and then again, I can go even further back, and you've got your Rocky, and you've got your Monty Python, Holy Grail.
Yep.
Bring me a shrubbery.
Those are yes.
But they're decade bridging. That's touched everyone from my in-laws' age all the way down through to probably Jordan's age, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know what Monty Python and the Holy Grail is.
Yes. It's just one of those. You don't have to like the movie. And I know a lot of people that don't like the movie. But there are such quotable lines in the movie.
If you don't think the Black Knight scene is funny, you don't like comedy. You just don't.
But I've cut your legs off. No, you haven't. Yes, I have.
Flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's just
Come back here. I'll bite your legs off. I mean, just shit like that. Like, the whole rabbit scene.
Oh, God.
But, and he comes out and he goes, but he's got big teeth. It's like, I still say that. I'm gonna be 50 years old. I saw that movie back when I was in middle school or high school. And I still say that. I mean,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brian.
No, I was going to go something to finish up.
Nope, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I think sometimes 80s movies get overlooked because of the success of, I'll call it my generation's angsty years, the college years, because we had all at once come out. You had Anchorman, Wedding Crashers, Step Brothers, Superbad. They all came out within a 10-year span. Yeah. But before that, I can remember quotable movies being Caddyshack, Ghostbusters, Stripes,
Caddyshack.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like, I grew up watching those movies.
Oh, I love that movie. Stripes is one of my favorite movies.
Brian will hear me say this every once in a while, and it's like I did it with a bot. We had a bot that started to chat with me on Skype, and in one of the episodes, I actually
read the bot script.
I read the bot thing, and it ended when I did the not Caddyshack, when I did the Stripes thing, when I said, well, actually, there was a portion of it was Stripes, and a portion of it was actually Billy Madison. The spatula portion was Stripes because he grabs the spatula and he's trying to flip her. You know what I mean? On the stove, and that's where I got the spatula from. But the other part was, in the chat, I was like, I need a 9-iron, some ice cubes, and a walrus. And that's Billy Madison when the teacher comes into his tent. Like,
I could think of several things: a pitching wedge, and a walrus. Or if you don't, we could switch the 7-iron pitching wedge for a 7-iron.
Yeah.
Keep the ice cubes.
I don't know. I like to have fun, and I end up using a lot of quote like Christ during bowling. We'll do it during bowling. I mean, we'll do that more to music, but
yeah, but still, it's like, sometimes you're just looking for something to say and nothing sums it up better than a quote from a movie.
One of my favorite bowling movie quotes is from Blazing Saddles, a movie that could never be made now.
No.
Ever.
No Mel Brooks movie could.
The racist undertones are ridiculous. It was a different time in the world when people used to laugh at that shit.
Yep.
Not too many people laugh at that shit anymore. Okay, fine. However, there is a great scene at the end when Slim Pickens and all the bad guys are riding through the desert and they're going to destroy Rock Ridge, give it the old number 9.
Yep.
And they get to the toll booth that they set up in the middle of the desert. Now, you ever been at bowling and somebody's like, come on, drop 10, drop a dime. The minute I hear that, or when we're down by a lot of pins, I'm like,
I already know what you're going to say.
Somebody's going to have to go get a shitload of dimes. I say it constantly. It's one of my favorite bowling quotes of all time. Oh. I love that movie. Not for the racist garbage. That's it. It was a funny comedy.
It is.
That's away from all of the politics of what is in that movie. If you take yourself out of it and put yourself back in 74 or 64, you laughed your ass off.
It was the movie, I believe, was made in 1978, I believe, something like that. But it is my all-time favorite comedic movie.
I could
my
not
all-time
agree
number
more.
one favorite, and I laugh harder every single time I watch it.
No,
it is. The sheriff is.
There are movies though, that aren't quotable to me, but I will stop and watch because there are moments in them that I remember, and they make me smile and laugh. God. Any Pauly Shore movie, like Biodome, In the Army Now, or Son-in-Law, just crack me up.
Biodome is one of my favorite.
Oh my God!
Like, it's like a goofy stoner movie. It's hilarious to just sit and laugh your ass off at after you have a thing or two, and it's awesome. I never saw In the Army Now. It was kind of silly. It was like I got my fill of Pauly Shore of Biodome. I got my fill out of it.
So think about this though. When you talk quotable movies, and look, I'm gonna be 50. Maki, you're what, 40? Gonna be 40?
I'll be 40 July 4th.
You'll be 40 July 4th. And Brian's 35. 36.
I'll be 36 in June.
In June. So we're all old enough that for us, we can go back 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 90s.
That's the 90s. For me, I go back 30 to 40 years. Okay? And if I go, I'm going to say this quote, and I guarantee the first 2 words, both of you are going to say, Maki's breaking shit. Both of you are going to know what it's from. And there's 2 of them, actually, that I can say. The first one is Cinderella Story.
Oh, that's Caddyshack.
Out of nowhere, former groundskeeper, okay? So Caddyshack, and then you have We're on a Mission from God.
Blues Brothers.
Those right there.
You're good, bro. Holy shit, that was quick.
I start saying these.
One of them that always jumps out to me is like whenever we get in like a conundrum or something, whenever I'm in a group and someone's like, I don't know what to do, I always like Mark uses situations, I always go, when someone asks if you're a god, Ray, you say yes. From Ghostbusters.
From Ghostbusters. But that's what I mean with quotable movies. It can be a one-liner. It can be a soliloquy.
The beginning of Full Metal Jacket.
The greatest opening 15 minutes of any movie ever made. Ever made.
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket, or Saving Private Ryan. That's another one that's pretty damn impressive. But
I never saw Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, but Saving Private Ryan is another one of those movies. It's heavy.
It's very heavy.
Like Schindler's List.
Yep.
Those
aren't quotable movies.
No, they're not. But they're amazing movies. You just have to.
But think about
the proper mindset for them.
Think about the beginning to Full Metal Jacket as a quotable movie. How many times have you guys quoted bits and pieces or the whole thing or whatever it is of that? What's his name? R. Lee Ermey.
R. Lee Ermey, yeah.
R. Lee Ermey, who was not an actor at that time.
No, he was a legit drill sergeant.
He was hired to be a consultant for that scene.
And nobody did it better than him.
And what happened was he did it, like they were going through it and he did it. And Oliver Stone? Yeah, Oliver Stone was the director for that.
Yep.
Oliver Stone hired him on the spot to play the gunny sergeant. I mean, it was all improvised.
I mean, a line in that movie is in the Two Live Crew song. What can we get for $10?
Yeah.
It's in Me So Horny by Two Live Crew.
Yeah. I mean, think about that opening, though. The best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up with a brown stain on the carpet. I've said it before. I know I have. Only steers and queers come from Texas, and I don't see any horns on you, boy. I mean, think about these quotes. I'm not saying they're politically correct, and I'm sure I'm going to get backlash for that quote.
These movies were not made in a time of political correctness. They were made at a different time and the context of that needs to be respected.
Yes. So let me ask you guys this. I'm going to take it one step further. When you think of a quotable movie, what do you think of? Is it something that is just so iconic? Or is it something that you guys can remember and can recite that makes it a quotable movie? Because to me, there's two different things.
I think it's something that you can recite and have a connection with other people that appreciate it the same way you do. That's what makes it
agree with that.
Quotable.
If you're going to quote a movie and you're going to quote the most obscure movie that nobody's ever seen, the quote doesn't work. Right. Especially if it's in like the right time where you've seen this one B-side movie. Like it's kind of hard to quote Clockwork Orange.
Oh my!
It's one of my favorite movies.
I cannot believe you just said that.
I love Clockwork Orange.
When you said that, the very first fucking movie that came to my head was A Clockwork Orange, and I'm a
huge Stanley Kubrick fan.
Oh my god, that is.
I love sci-fi. I love out there sci-fi.
There is no quotable parts of that movie.
I can't let you do that, Alan.
Right. There's very few, but there's a couple times where you could throw it at somebody and they'd be like, what? So the quote doesn't work. It's got to have been a movie that was very popular, that people have seen, that they understand where it comes from, and it also the inflection that you use it, even if they haven't. If I look at you and go, I too like to live dangerously. You know what I mean? Like you could be like, oh, that was Austin Powers when he hit on 19 at the blackjack table because he was an idiot. Right.
Who is number 2?
It only works if the quote gets over, like we say that on the wrestling show a lot, me and B. But the quote only gets over if people understand where the quote comes from.
Yes.
And a lot of the mainstream quotes we all know and love. But then when you do quote something obscure and a friend looks at you and goes, oh my God, I didn't know you saw that. You just made a best friend for life.
Yep.
It's like the best part is like an Anchorman. When you can sit down and you're like, oh, well, that escalated quickly. And somebody like 4 seats behind you goes, yeah, Brick killed a guy with a trident. You're like, yes.
So and that brings me to that whole point of that question is from an iconic standpoint, how often, Brian, have we been bowling and something happens and you go, well, that escalated quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's from a fucking movie.
But Anchorman is different because Anchorman was like, he was on ESPN. Ron Burgundy is a real person.
He lives that character.
Yeah.
Didn't Ron Burgundy host Saturday Night Live, not Will Ferrell?
Yes.
Once before, I believe Ron Burgundy hosted, not Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
It was Ron Burgundy playing skits and characters the whole show. That man is a genius.
When they say Will Ferrell, they're like, Will Ferrell 6-time host Saturday Night Live. He goes, no, 5. That other guy hosted that one time. That Burgundy dude.
So I'm gonna. There's a couple here. So I pulled up this list. It was crowd ranked for the top 100 most quotable movies of all time, and I'm gonna do the top 10 because I gotta tell you I don't agree with some of these. Number 10.
That's the best thing about lists, though, is we can dissect them just like this.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
Number 10, Vader. That's an inside joke that no one else will get.
I got it though.
Oh Jesus.
I'll tell you, and the only reason I say this is they had Caddyshack at number 37, Step Brothers number 40.
Ooh.
Super Troopers number 51. Dodgeball was 53.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh my God!
I quote like nobody makes me believe.
Ben Stiller movies, like Ben Stiller for a while.
Chuck Norris.
Yes.
Thank you, Chuck. When I throw doubles or triples in the bowling alley, I look at the pins and I say, "Thank you,
Chuck Norris." Or how many times have we said, or you've heard someone say, "If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball." Well, it's from friggin' dodgeball, like
right.
I don't think they make your life coach got crushed by 2 tons of irony Hallmark card.
Billy Madison was 57. I mean, it just all of these movies that we've
kind of. If those are that low, what then? The holy hell is their top 10?
So let's go number 10.
Yes.
Number 10 is The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I'll get you, my pretty. I mean,
we're not in Kansas anymore. Nobody
we're
gets
leaving to go somewhere. We're off to see the wizard. I guess.
I mean, but I don't see that as a quotable. What I would consider out of my head as a quotable movie.
That movie's kind of messed up if you watch it when you're too young because it starts out black and white and then all of a sudden you're just thrown into this weird acid trip of a world with kind of a scary witch lady and a house falling on somebody.
Yep.
I mean, it's not comedic. More often than not, and I think a lot of people can agree here, the quotable movies are usually the comedies.
Yes.
Because we laughed our asses off when we heard it because it made sense in a verbal meme format. And we've talked about this, that old school movie quotes have kind of evolved. Brian, you brought this up. They've kind of evolved into more modern day memes that we see.
We didn't get a new meme a day.
No. But Wizard of Oz was not a comedy. It was a drama through and through. But there are an awful lot of quotable lines in it. You could always look at something when somebody's like, I don't know what to do. Should I go over there? And you could be like, well, some people go both ways.
Right.
So there's moments in it, but I wouldn't call it a top 10.
Nope.
But maybe somebody else did. All right, what's 9? That's fucked up.
Jaws.
No.
Because we're going to need a bigger boat.
That is the only quote from that entire movie, and I've seen the movie several times. That is we're going to need a bigger boat. That's the only thing.
I would argue Shawshank Redemption is more quotable than that.
Yes. Yeah.
So far, we have the 10 and the 9, and neither one is a comedy. They're both serious drama movies.
Yep.
Or even Jaws could be considered a horror, I guess.
Number 8, Ghostbusters.
Okay.
I can see that being up there.
It works.
There's enough in there that I have said. There's enough in there I've heard people say. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. I mean,
I'll go with that. Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. Number 7, The Breakfast Club.
Will there be milk, Richard?
I remember the movie. I don't think I've ever quoted it my entire life.
I have a few times.
Some of their quote. By the way, on a side note, I have ridden a chairlift with Judd Nelson. Just so you know, if that.
He's the guy that plays like the angsty dude in Breakfast Club.
Cool.
Yep.
The bull, you're gonna get the horns.
Yeah, there's a quote that you hear people say. I've said.
You see the situation parodied a lot of. Well, that's 2 weeks. We'll go for 3. All right, 3, 4. I can do this all day.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's.
It shouldn't be that high.
It shouldn't be that high. It shouldn't. Not with some of these other movies that we've discussed. Number 6, Star Wars.
Quotable, but for different reasons. I mean, I'm a Star Wars junkie. It's one of my favorite
everybody
movies.
says use the Force. He
May
used
the Force be with you.
Right.
You know?
Star Wars is different for me because it's not a quotable movie. I just could literally sit there and do the whole thing along with it. I've seen it so many times.
Genres like that, like Star Wars, I'm like that. I was never really big into Star Wars. I was into Star Trek. I really didn't cross too much. I saw first Star Wars and I was like, I don't like this.
Are you a Kirk or Picard guy?
I'm a Picard guy. I'm a Picard guy. I like Captain Kirk, but I'm more a Picard guy. But I mean, Star Wars was beyond what I would call like a movie series. Star Wars turned into a culture.
Yes.
Jedi is a recognized religion in Florida.
Right. It's a culture by this point. People take it as seriously as they do their politics, their daily food, what kind of car they buy. It's important shit to some people.
Yeah.
So I can see how it is very quotable, all things considered.
All things considered, I, again, don't know if it's top 10, but I'm not going to argue that one being there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Back to the Future.
All day, please and thank you.
Yep.
My favorite series of movies of my life. The 3 Back to the Future.
I have absolutely zero problem with this being up in the top 5.
When this thing hits 80 miles an hour, you're going to see some shit.
You're going to see some serious shit.
You know, again, I grew up with the movie. It came out in what?
85.
85?
85.
Okay. I was a freshman in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was born.
Back to the Future I was 4 in 85.
Okay.
Back to the Future was the movie that we watched when it was raining outside.
Yeah.
When there was nothing to do. I put in Back to the Future 1 so many times. We watched it so many times the tape broke in our VCR when I was younger. I love the Back to the Future series.
Hey, kids, for those of you that don't know, a VCR was something.
We get a
video recording device that the tape was about like yay big. You had to put it in. Play and rewind was the actual physical tape.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
You couldn't just start in spots. There was
no, you had to. No, you couldn't. Number 4, The Terminator.
I could go with that.
1 or 2?
1.
2's way more quotable.
1 gave us "I'll Be Back."
Yep.
1 gave
Sarah
us the
Connor.
First time we heard "Come With Me If You Want to Live." I'm also a huge Terminator junkie too. The new ones are terrible, but
2's one of my favorite movies of all time.
1 and 2 are the most canonical of all of them. The rest of them kind of veer off into like alternate Skynet timelines and shit.
You can't tell me that Arnold Schwarzenegger is not badass in 2 when he comes in the arcade. He has the rose box and the roses fall out and he has the shotgun and
it's all in slow motion and everything. Yeah. Right, that first meeting between the 2 Terminators. I can see Terminator. I don't know if it's that high on the list, but I would definitely have it on a list.
Yeah. Number 3. I love this movie. I really do. The Princess Bride.
Yes.
So good.
As you wish.
You know,
She's rolling down the hill.
There's so many lines in there.
Now, I mean it.
You know, just
anybody want a peanut?
You know, the whole, you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Hello. My name is Domingo Montoya.
Oh, yeah.
You killed my father. Prepare
to die. You know,
I am not left-handed.
I too am
as
not
well.
left-handed.
I just think The Princess Bride is another one that is to me, it is a classic, comedic, quotable movie.
Good family movie too, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so close to being like a perfect fairy tale movie. Not a perfect movie, but a perfect like fantasy type movie that you could just lose yourself in.
Yeah.
and it's Andre.
Much like
Let's love
Never Ending
Andre the
Story
Giant.
was like that.
Never seen that. That's what I've never seen the Never Ending Story.
Oh my goodness.
It's been
it
years.
Defined my childhood.
It's been years since I've seen Never Ending Story.
That movie defined my childhood.
So the top two, I have a problem with. I will tell you right now, I have a problem. Both are quotable movies, don't get me wrong.
Right.
I just have a problem being this high. Number two, A Christmas Story.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Yeah, I guess. You look like a pink
never
nightmare.
seen Christmas Story front to back.
I haven't either. I've
never seen it.
I bet I've seen it all flipping through the channels on Christmas before.
TBS shows it for 24 hours.
I was say one of those TNT or TBS shows it from midnight to midnight.
From midnight to midnight.
Yep.
It is certainly an iconic Christmas movie, but a quotable movie other than You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Kid. Fragile.
There are more quotable Christmas movies. Christmas Vacation.
Look, I have
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Look,
I have Bumbles Bounce.
I have a leg lamp right here. Leg lamp
Christmas Story.
from Christmas Story.
You have the Pink Nightmare jammies, don't you?
I have the Pink Nightmare, not the
bunny suit.
The bunny suit. I do not believe this should be number
Die
two.
Hard
I don't believe
on that list.
I don't
Die
believe
Hard is so quotable.
Yep,
Die Hard is a Christmas movie too.
It is.
It is a Christmas movie.
It's not Christmas until you see Alan Rickman fall off of Nakatomi Plaza.
That's true.
Number one.
Number one. What is at the top?
Number
that
one.
They say is the most quotable.
I'm going to.
Can you say a quote from it? See if we can guess it.
It honestly would give it away if I said the quote. The one that comes to my mind. I will say it is the number one highest grossing 90s movie.
Number one highest grossing 90s movie.
I'm the king of the world. It's Titanic.
Nope.
With Titanic?
Nope.
What was the number one?
Oh, wait.
I've got magic legs.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, though. No, Forrest Gump is so cool.
Yeah.
Life is like a
I just don't know if it's number one to me.
Every time I bring Kelly, if we go to Dairy Queen and get ice cream, every time I can't help myself when I bring it back, I go, Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. Ice cream, Lieutenant Dan.
You got new legs, Lieutenant Dan. Look, there are, yes. Bubblegum Shrimp.
Jenny is a villain. I'm sorry. Jenny is the villain of that
course she
movie.
is.
Jenny is absolutely the villain of that movie.
Of course she is.
She strings Forrest in every single way. He's got to do so many things to solve the problem of keeping Jenny happy when he can never keep Jenny happy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He makes her happy. She runs away.
The whole thing, again, life is like. So I was going to say life is like a box of chocolates because that's what everyone
I gotta
knows.
save Bubba.
Life is like
Funny
a box
story
of chocolates.
about that. Weird trivia. When he's running and he says he ran from one end of the country and you see the Golden Gate Bridge and he runs to the other, that white bridge leading out to the lighthouse is like a half hour from where Tim and I live.
Yeah, it's Marshall Point Lighthouse.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually only it's 20 to 25 minutes down the peninsula from where we live.
That's cool.
From when I worked maritime, that was my territory, so I was down Port Clyde all the time. It's an iconic movie.
Yes.
In more ways than one. I don't know if it would be my number one.
It's hard to argue, Tim. I think I got to disagree with you on this one. Like that movie, maybe it doesn't have the funniest quotes. It might not have the most like impactful quotes that gets a reaction out of the entire room. But everybody in the room knows where the quote came from.
And there's something for everyone in Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
It's one of those cultural movies that also defined an era, kind of, because it was so very different of a movie from Tom Hanks that everybody saw Forrest Gump and everybody remembers the quotes.
Again, I'm not saying it's not a quotable movie, because I am. And I would probably put that in my top 5 or top 10, and I could argue it being top 5 or top 10. I struggle with number 1. And I don't know why, because I don't have a movie to replace it. Like, normally I'd be like, no, I would replace it with this. But I don't have that movie.
Maybe because, as I said before, it wasn't like a comedy. It wasn't a laughable, quotable movie, because none of those quotes are really comedic value. A lot of them are just Forrest Gump being Forrest Gump.
Yep.
And we've all thought that way about certain things before, and then we heard him said that way, and every one of us just said it because he's right. Life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get tomorrow. You have no idea. And by the way, I hate the damn cherry cordial in the box of chocolates. I just got to say that out loud. I can't stand that fucking candy.
I hate, you know what I think is like a Saw puzzle, like the movie Saw, which, by the way, I want to talk about something in a second after this. Like, is when they give you the box of chocolates and they leave the map out, so you're literally just looking and you don't know which one's which, and you're like, oh, which one's the nasty ones I don't want.
Yeah.
So then you go through, or somebody said it before you, and they're like broken in half, so people can see what's inside of them.
I got 2 kids at my house, and on Valentine's Day, the candies that me and Melissa give each other, Dominic or Brianna, find them when we're not paying attention, and there's little thumbprints in the tops of them, so they can see if it's the orange or the strawberry or the coconut.
Yeah.
Little bastards.
They're making a new Saw movie, by the way. Chris Rock is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, check the trailer out. It's really good. It looks really good.
I have never seen.
And Samuel L. Jackson. Speaking of quotable things.
Motherfucker. There is a drinking game. If you can make it through a Samuel L. Jackson movie without dying, you win. Every time he says motherfucker in a movie, you take a shot.
So
the Hitman's Bodyguard.
So here, let me do this. I want to go through this list, the top 100 here, and I'm going to give you a couple of movies, and I want you to tell me where it is in the list. Like is it the top 50, whatever? Okay. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Top 50.
That's hilarious. I'd honestly, I'd go same thing, top 50, maybe even top 25.
Yeah. High up there, way
up.
It
would be way high for me, and Brian knows this because half the shit that I do is I quote Talladega Nights.
Not first, you're last.
My favorite quote.
Got mauled by a cougar.
my favorite, one of my favorite quotes of all time. I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Right. I'm just a big hairy American winning machine.
I'm just a big hairy American winning machine, and I say
you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you.
Fuck you. It's a Jackhawk 9000. You know,
available at your Walmart.
So I love that. To me, that is one of my number one. It's one of my all-time favorite comedies. I love the movie. I love the quotes in it. It makes me laugh. It's the movie that I can continue to watch over and over and over again and never get sick of.
Mm-hmm.
They have it at number 100.
The bottom?
The bottom.
It has one of my favorite comedic scenes in there where they discuss which Jesus they like. Like, I think it's
around the table,
genius.
it's baby Jesus.
That's the best.
And I like the baby Jesus, so I'm going to pray to the baby Jesus. I love baby Jesus. He's a cute baby Jesus. I'll pray to the baby Jesus.
I mean, I said it a couple of weeks ago in bowling. I threw a strike and I went, anarchy, anarchy. I don't even know what it means. You know, it's
Walker, Texas Ranger. We call him TR for short.
Yep. The original Vacation movie with Chevy Chase.
Look,
Lampoon, National Lampoon.
Yep, National Lampoon's Vacation.
With the family truckster, they go to Wally World.
Griswold Family Truckster.
It for me, it's top 30.
It's got to be somewhere. I wasn't a huge National Lampoon's fan. I know they were good. I was watching other movies. Yeah. I mean, but I've heard many people quote it many times.
Oh yeah. They have it number 99.
When he punches that thing in the face, the gate. So fun.
How about well, I already told you Dodgeball. That was number 53.
That's a sin.
What about Wedding Crashers?
I don't even know if it's on the list. I didn't see it.
like Wedding Crashers. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a huge fan.
Vince Vaughn's an acquired taste.
He is.
Here we go. This is one of my all-time favorite quotable movies. I would have this in my top 5 every single day of the week and 3 times on a day ending in Y. Step Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That should be in top 25. But based on the sound of this list, I don't think it's going to be because I haven't even seen that movie front to back. And I know many quotes.
So
I don't see a lot of movies. I haven't seen
I don't want to lick my dog food.
I kind of fell out of doing stuff.
You
But it's got to be up there.
They
Put
call
your
me
nuts on my drums.
they call me the songbird of my generation. I know you touched my drum set. Because Cops isn't on until 4 o'clock. They have it at number 40.
See, we're leaving out, too, an entire genre of movies that helped shape my college years, which were the Judd Apatow films. Superbad and The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. And those movies, the stuff with Jason Segel in it, like I Love You Man with Paul Rudd is hilarious.
Those aren't even on the list.
Oh my God. 40-Year-Old Virgin. How many of us, whenever we do something, we go, Kelly Clarkson? Like, Steve Carell is a genius, and he is a very quotable. As him as Michael.
Superbad is on the list.
Are the Austin Powers on the list?
Fucking McLovin.
So here's where Austin Powers is on this list.
65.
Austin Powers Gold Member. Great movie.
Yeah, it was
Britney
good.
Spears, Beyonce, Tom Cruise.
Not even the funniest of all of them.
Nope.
Not even close.
Is Tropic Thunder anywhere on that list?
Number 96 is
Tropic Thunder?
Austin Powers Gold Member.
Oh, Gold Member. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I'm the dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Let's see. So what do you want me to look at here?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder? Is that
there? That's not it. That's not even on the list.
Oh God.
It's one of my favorite meme pictures.
Blues Brothers is number 74.
Who did this list? Who did this list?
I don't know. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
God, yes.
Number 73.
Can we talk about how Grandpa Joe is just an absolute douchebag, by the way? Like, families eating cabbage water soup for years, and all of a sudden this dude just hops up out of bed like he could have been working for the last 10 years.
And where was he getting his pipe tobacco money? That he had money to give Charlie to go to the store to just go buy that last candy bar.
Yeah.
Where did he get that? He's holding out. They didn't have to.
I bet he probably took it out of the old lady's purse there in the bed.
So Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, which I believe is the
funnier
second one, right?
is the first one. Yes, that's the more quotable.
That's the one with Heather Graham in it.
Of the two.
Yep.
Yes.
This is number 55.
What?
I'm telling you,
Where's the Beavis and Butthead movie?
It's not even on here. I mean, A Few Good Men is 35.
Because You Can't Handle the Truth.
Yeah.
That's one quote.
That's one quote.
But here's the thing, it's one of my favorite movies. It was my essay writing movie in college. I would always either wake up super early and write an essay or I'd stay up way too late, and I always put in A Few Good Men and I would just sit and write while that was on. I don't know. It was weird.
No, I love Tombstone was number 33, by the way.
That is my favorite, one of my favorite all-time movies, and Val Kilmer in that movie is so great. Just the stuff, the one-liners. Oh my God!
Here's a couple that I'll give you.
Spelling bee.
Dumb and Dumber, quotable movie.
Very.
Oh yes.
Okay. Samsonite. I was way off.
I was way off.
Oh, look at the butt on that.
Look at that. Oh, he works out.
He must work out.
Here, have my other pair of gloves.
Oh,
is Dumb and Dumber
and Brian has heard this from me. I will say this, especially when we were working and like the shit was hitting the shit hit the store, the shit hits the fan, everything was falling apart, I would just randomly go out. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Pretty bird.
Pretty bird. They have that at number 29. I forgot about this movie, Airplane.
Oh, good God.
Oh, yeah. What about the Naked Gun movies?
Oh, by the way, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
That was the first one. Yeah.
Number 24.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the second movie was funnier, but
what about the American Pie movies? Like, they spawned an entire, like, phrase. Like, MILF came from there.
Blazing Saddles, by the way, number 11 on this list. So just missed the top 10.
Good. Okay.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Shut up, Tina, and eat your hand.
Vote for Pedro and all your dreams will come true.
Does it do sick jumps?
Tina, come get your damn dinner. Meet your dinner. I don't know. It's there's I could go on. Mel Brooks movies are the most quotable movies. You take Spaceballs, you take Blazing Saddles,
History of the World Part 1.
History of the World Part 1. Oh my God.
You look like the piss boy. You look like a bucket of shit.
Yeah, the Inquisition.
And again, Brian, I forgot what we were doing. It was a bowling tournament, and I don't know if I had just thrown a double or something to win a string of something, and I turned around and said, "It's good to be the king."
I say it all the time. When I'm here and friends are talking and we say something or we do something and just, what do you mean you do that? I'm like, it's good to be the king.
Yeah.
And they probably just think I'm being a dick, but I'm like, no, I'm just kind of quoting the movie.
It's just quoting a movie. Like, I just, it's, I don't know.
Mel Brooks movies were special. They're very different. They could never be made in this day and age. They were very special type of comedy movies.
Nope.
How about one we forget about this Lost in the Shuffle is Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yep.
With Dave Chappelle. Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I said, hey, Blinken.
So, you know what? That's going to lead me down a path of this. Next Friday, I want you guys, you have a little bit of homework.
All right.
Okay? I want you to
work for podcast, Marky. What are we doing?
I want you to put together your top 10 comedic movies.
We're going to do a top 10 list?
Top 10, your own.
Marky and I are really good at this.
We are very good at this.
I know. Trust me. I know you. I know.
You've seen our top 10 list on Dudes and Belts.
I know, and I got very mad that Dino Bravo never made the goddamn list.
No. Johnny never let Dino get on a list.
Yeah, well, Johnny was wrong.
He should be on the list of top Canadian strongmen.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
He's number one.
So,
which, by the way, here's something, though, for everyone, and I will brighten everyone's day with this if they have Twitter. If you do not follow the Iron Sheik, wrestling fan or not, go follow Iron Sheik on Twitter. Because I'll tell you what, Bubba, he is going to suplex the fuck out of the COVID virus.
So,
you motherfucker.
Deadpool was 104. I'm just going to...
Deadpool's so funny.
Ted was 107.
Ted is the only movie that I have...
Ted was all the way down at 107?
I almost fell in an aisle laughing so hard.
America is imploding.
Hold on. I'm going to go way down here and let's see if I can.
And arguably, one of the funnier bits in the second one, when they're trying to capture the essence of Tom Brady, if you will, so we can...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
And he chucks him, and he goes, you see it, Johnny? It's the perfect spiral.
They pull the blanket off of Tom's midsection, and where his dick should be is just this light, and
it's beautiful,
Tom Brady's dick.
So top 10, your favorite. Doesn't have to be the best.
Our favorites.
Your favorite, meaning Marky, I want your top 10. I don't know why
now I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch a whole bunch of...
I don't know why I'm actually literally pointing at you at the screen going, Marky, that's you. Brian, I want your top 10. I will put my top 10, and then we'll see if number one, we'll see how close we are to having conjoined minds.
Fact. Yeah.
And number two, I want to see. I have an idea on where each of us kind of lies in the grand scheme of comedic movies.
Yeah.
So let's.
This will be an interesting one. They'll get a little perspective into each one of our brains about like
because this is gonna be tough because comedic movies is that's my go-to. So
and Tim has seen my movie collection, so I have lots of material to go off of.
Yep. And I don't care if you've seen the whole movie or if you've seen bits and pieces, and it's just, again, because right now, I struggle to watch a whole movie. Like if I see Kindergarten Cop on TV, I might watch like 30 minutes of it.
So good though.
It is. Boys have a penis, girls have vaginas.
Well, I see you taught him the basics.
I just that whole scene with the kid looking
Who
up
is your
at him,
daddy and what does he do?
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
I think you have a tumor. It's not a tumor. I just, again,
you hit the kid. Now I hit you.
Quotable movie. It is good movie.
Oh man,
is that on the list? Is Kindergarten Cop on the list?
Number 117.
Jesus Christ!
Again,
these uncultured swine.
16 Candles. 112.
Dong, where is my automobile?
Is that your agent on the ground?
Again, another movie that probably you couldn't make.
Oh God, no. The 40-Year-Old Virgin, by the way, Brian, you had brought that up. That was number
so
110. Good. 110. So anyway, we've, per usual, because I know we're like, we're going to keep this to 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah. We've gone over. So we're going to wrap this up. Ultimately, there is a shit ton of quotable movies out there that we never even went down the path.
That is true.
It's such a subjective thing based on the observer, what you like and what you don't, what is quotable, what you think isn't. This is one of those things that's truly individual.
So there's two Rounders.
Oh,
there's a couple of good ones in there.
Rounders has some great ones in there. When he says he beat me straight up, pay him. Pay that man his money. There's a couple in here as well. Like one of my favorite quotes of all time of any movie, and I say it quite a bit, is, "I am disinclined to acquiesce to your demands."
That was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Thank you.
I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request.
Yeah.
That's another one that's so quotable.
Yeah.
You are the world's worst pirate, but you've heard of me, haven't you?
But you have heard of me.
Yep. And the last quote, and I bring this up because the title of our podcast is Ripping the Rack, which is a bowling term.
Yep.
What is, besides Kingpin, what is the other bowling movie that everyone talks about?
Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
And it's not even a bowling movie. It's a great movie with bowling as a subplot.
In it.
Right.
So there are, and I will go on record, I have never seen that movie from beginning to end. And it's a great movie. Like, I've enjoyed it.
I can recite the script front to back.
Nice marmot.
I've enjoyed what I've seen of it. I just, for some reason, haven't watched it from beginning to end.
It has one of the greatest versions of Hotel California you will ever hear in it.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Version.
Yep.
In the version where Jesus comes over and runs down let me tell you something, pendejo.
When he goes, this is not NAMM, this is bowling. There are rules. Like, I love that line. And then what is it? It's a Market Zero or something like that.
Smokey, you're entering a world of pain.
Yeah.
You're entering a world of pain.
So I don't know. There's a ton of quotable movies. There's a ton of quotes within movies that that we never even touched on. Never.
It's not a 6-hour podcast.
It's
if
not.
It was.
I mean,
we could have gotten into so many more.
I mean, you take a look at like Mommy Dearest. No,
my mother
wire
made me
hangers
watch that
ever.
movie when we were kids. My mother was like,
my,
"You think I'm so bad? You think I'm the worst mother because I didn't give you ice cream? Watch this." And after that, we realized we had a cool mom.
Yeah,
yeah.
We had a cool mom after that.
Yep. I mean, you take a look at all of these. Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. I mean,
first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women.
And then one of my all-time favorite quotes in general. And the minute I say this, if you guys don't know where this is from, I am going to disconnect this podcast and we will never have a podcast again until next week. Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Wall Street.
Thank you.
Is that the Wolf of Wall Street?
No, Wall Street.
No, and there's a movie we never even touched on, Wolf of Wall Street.
I saw it once. I never saw the regular Wall Street. Never saw that.
Well,
it was nice seeing all you guys. I guess I'm never going to be on the show again. Thanks for having me on for a couple of weeks.
Until next week. You'll be on next Monday.
Oh, I can be back next week? All right, cool.
Yeah,
so
you're back next
suspension.
Yeah.
No, just not even Tuesday. You can come back.
Oh, that's true. All right. So 4 days suspension
take the
without
weekend
pay.
off.
Yeah, take the weekend off.
All right, I can do that. The hell with you guys. Fine.
Wall Street, to me, is one of the most underrated movies that so sums up the 80s. Absolutely 100% sums up Wall Street in the 80s.
American Psycho, too, with Christian Bale. If you haven't seen that, that is quotable, too, but for different reasons, and you won't be seeing that movie on anybody's list next week. Well, maybe, but that would be very weird if that was on your comedy list.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a comedy thing. That'd be like putting American History X as a comedy. I mean,
that is not a comedy. That will not be on one of our lists this week.
Not a comedy. Great movie, not a comedy.
Fight the curb.
So, people of Podcast Nation who are still listening at 57 minutes and 32 seconds, please send us your questions, your comments, your concerns, or anything else you'd like to send us. rippingtherockpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter at Ripping the Rock Podcast. You can soon find us on Instagram, and I know I keep threatening Instagram, but it will be coming soon. Not on OnlyFans, though.
No.
Not yet. Not on OnlyFans.
Not yet. There's not. Well, there's not only just people doing OnlyFans things on OnlyFans.
Right.
Okay, real quick, because it's Friday and it's fucking OnlyFans. Did you see where the stupid fucking Catch Me Outside girl made OnlyFans and made $1 million in 6 hours?
Yes, I did. And I started hitting myself in the head with a broken bowling pin going, I'm in the wrong business, apparently.
Yep. It's so I don't know. I can't bring
people
myself.
Are stupid.
People, the money that people will pay for stupid shit like Catch Me Outside. How about that? I'm sorry. It's fucking stupid.
Wasn't that funny like 3 years ago? Wasn't that a meme like 3 years ago? And then that chick fell off the face of the planet, thankfully.
Well, she was like 16 or something like that.
Whatever in the holy hell it was. Like.
Now she's a rapper. That's Bad Baby.
What?
Yeah, no, she's a rapper. She got nominated for a Grammy. Look it up. That's true.
All I think of is Ted grabbing a peach Michelob Ultra 64 going, God damn, America is imploding. Speaking of movie quotes. America is imploding.
You know what? I get we should probably end it on this dumbass note. So, Brian,
sorry everyone.
Where to go, Brian?
Buzz
Killington. Oh, it's that fucking Brian guy. Oh, Buzz Killington.
Buzz Killington, who would like to see some etchings of bridges?
Who wants to hear the tale of the time we invented the hula hoop?
Anyway.
Low-key, that and Chicken Fight are my favorites.
Brian,
yes, Chicken Fight.
Where else can they
Tim, they can hear our witty banter and wonderful conversations on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Breaker, YouTube, Google Podcasts, and wherever else you want to have us caress your ears like a satin pillow every Friday and Tuesday morning.
Oh my God.
That was silky smooth, Joseph. That was silky smooth.
I just went 6 to midnight.
Oh, I have that effect on people sometimes.
You're like conditioner. You make the hair silky and smooth. Then Tim is shampoo. He makes it all cleaner and better. How better? You better.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Real quick, and then we're gonna end. Adam Sandler, because you mentioned shampoo. The very first time I heard his song at a medium pace.
Yes.
Do yourselves a favor, everyone, on this Friday. Listen to Adam.
See that shampoo bottle? Finish the quote.
Nope.
No. On your own.
Finish the quote on your own. All right, we're out of here, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you once again. Would like to thank our sponsor. Oh wait, no, we don't have any sponsors.
We don't have any.
So if anyone would like to pay us money and be a sponsor,
maybe Blue Chew will sponsor us. They sponsor every other podcast I seem to listen to.
Who?
Blue Chew. Look that one up. You'll figure out what it is.
Okay.
Blue Chew. Is that a new position or something?
Is that? Please tell me it's got nothing to do with waffles.
It's a boner pill.
It's a what?
Boner
It's
pill.
a boner pill.
Oh, it's a boner pill. Oh, it's a dead dick pill.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Hey, have a great evening.
On that note, thank you. Tuesday morning, don't forget us, Tuesday morning, Ripping the Rack podcast. We will be on talking bowling. Brian and Maki, guys, listen to them on Sunday evenings, starting, I believe it's at 9 o'clock.
Right around there, yep.
Right around 9 on
TV/Johnny Deathdrop.
Thank you.
Belts Wrestling Chatcast.
Wrestling Chatcast. So, peace.
Bye,
everybody.